Welcome back to Senior Financial Freedom, where we help you navigate the latest updates in retirement benefits. You know, I've been hearing from so many of you about the changes coming to Social Security payments in 2025. And today, I'm breaking down exactly what you need to know about January's payment schedule. Because let's face it, when it comes to our benefits, timing is everything. Have you noticed how the Social Security Administration has been shifting things around lately? Well, January 2025 brings some important updates to payment dates that could affect your financial planning. Whether you're receiving retirement, disability, or SSI benefits, these changes might impact when you'll see that deposit hit your account. And trust me, after helping thousands of seniors understand their benefits over the years, I know how crucial it is to have this information well in advance. I'm particularly excited to share some insider tips about managing your expectations for these new payment dates, especially if you're one of the millions who received the recent cost of living adjustment. We'll look at exactly which days payments are scheduled, how the federal holiday calendar affects distribution, and what to do if your regular payment date falls on a weekend, because nobody likes unexpected surprises when it comes to their monthly income. Before we dive into all these important details, take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Why? Because we're constantly updating our community with the latest Social Security news and changes that affect your benefits. And hey, if you've got questions about your specific payment schedule or want to share your experiences with recent Social Security changes, drop them in the comments below. Your insights help other seniors in our community, and I personally read and respond to as many comments as possible. Now, let's get into those January 2025 payment dates you've been waiting for. Now, let's dive deep into those January 2025 payment dates and everything you need to know about the upcoming changes. First and foremost, I want to address something that's been causing quite a bit of confusion in our community. The Social Security Administration has implemented a new distribution system that's actually more streamlined than before, but it might take a little getting used to. You see, starting January 2025, the regular payment schedule will continue to be based on your birth date, but with some notable adjustments to account for federal holidays and weekend distributions. For those of you who receive Social Security retirement benefits, let's break down exactly when you can expect your payments. If your birthday falls between the 1st and 10th of the month, your payment will arrive on the second Wednesday of January. Now, here's where it gets interesting. January 2025 has some unique calendar configurations that affect this schedule. The second Wednesday falls on January 8th, which means you'll receive your payment right on time without any holiday interference. Now, I know many of you have been wondering about what happens if you're in the second group, those with birthdays between the 11th and 20th. You'll typically receive your payments on the third Wednesday, which in January 2025 falls on the 15th. This is particularly important because it comes right after the Martin Luther King Jr. Day holiday weekend. Don't worry though, the SSA has already accounted for this in their scheduling, so your payment won't be delayed. For our third group, those with birthdays between the 21st and 31st, your payments are scheduled for the fourth Wednesday, January 22nd. I've noticed some concerns in our community about this falling later in the month, but I want to reassure you that this is actually beneficial for many seniors who've structured their bill payments around these later dates. Let's talk about Supplemental Security Income, SSI recipients for a moment, because your schedule is a bit different and particularly important for January 2025. Typically, SSI payments are distributed on the first of each month. However, when the first falls on a weekend or holiday, payments are moved to the nearest business day before. Here's where it gets interesting for January 2025, since January 1st is both a holiday and falls midweek. The SSA has made special arrangements to ensure you receive your payment on December 31st, 2024. I know many of you have been asking about direct deposit timing, and this is crucial information. The SSA has been working closely with banks and credit unions to ensure smoother processing times. While your payment date might be scheduled for a particular Wednesday, many of you might notice the funds appearing in your account the day before, especially if you bank with one of the larger national banks. This isn't a glitch. It's actually a feature of the modern banking system that works in your favor. Now, let's address something that's been causing some anxiety in our community: the relationship between these payment dates and the recent cost of living adjustment, COLA. The good news is that your January 2025 payment will already include any COLA increases that were approved for the year. You don't need to do anything special to receive this adjustment. It's automatically calculated into your benefit amount. Speaking of automatic calculations, I want to share something that many seniors aren't aware of. The SSA has implemented a new notification system for 2025 that will send you alerts about your upcoming payments. If you haven't already, I strongly recommend setting up your My Social Security account online. I know some of you might be hesitant about using online services, but I've helped hundreds of seniors set up their accounts, and the security features are impressive. One thing that's particularly relevant for January 2025 is how the SSA is handling payment verification. They've introduced a new system where you can track your payment status up to a week before it's scheduled to arrive. This is especially helpful for those of you who rely on these benefits for essential expenses like medication or housing payments. To access this feature, you'll need that My Social Security account I mentioned earlier. Let's talk about some practical financial planning around these payment dates. I've noticed that many seniors in our community are adjusting their budget strategies to account for the slight variations in January's schedule. Here's a tip that's worked well for many of our viewers. Consider setting up automatic bill payments that align with your new Social Security deposit dates. This can help prevent any timing issues with important payments. Another important aspect of the January 2025 schedule is how it affects those of you who receive both Social Security retirement benefits and SSI. The SSA has made some adjustments to ensure that these dual recipients don't experience any gaps in their income flow. If you're in this category, you'll want to pay special attention to how your payments are structured across the month. I've been getting a lot of questions about what happens if there's an issue with your payment. For January 2025, the SSA has expanded their support services to handle any payment-related concerns. They've extended their phone support hours and added more online resources to help you track and verify your payments. Remember, if you notice any discrepancies, it's important to report them immediately. Let's discuss something that's particularly relevant for those of you who've recently started receiving Social Security benefits. January 2025 marks some important changes in how new beneficiaries are integrated into the payment schedule. If you began receiving benefits in late 2024, your January payment might follow a slightly different schedule for the first month before aligning with the regular birth date-based system. One aspect of the January 2025 schedule that's generating a lot of interest is how it accommodates international recipients. For those of you who receive your benefits while living abroad, the SSA has implemented some new procedures to ensure more efficient international transfers. This includes better coordination with foreign banks and more precise timing of international wire transfers. Now, here's something crucial that many people overlook: the impact of tax withholding on your January 2025 payment. If you've recently made changes to your withholding preferences, these will be reflected in your January payment. This is particularly important for those of you who adjusted your withholding during the last quarter of 2024. I want to address a concern that's been coming up frequently in our community discussions. What happens if there's a government shutdown or other federal administrative issues? The good news is that Social Security payments are considered mandatory spending and are not affected by government shutdowns. Your January 2025 payments are secure, regardless of any potential political or administrative challenges. Let's talk about some of the technology updates the SSA has implemented that will affect your January 2025 payments. They've upgraded their processing systems to handle payments more efficiently, which means you might notice your direct deposits are arriving more consistently at the same time on your scheduled day. This is particularly beneficial for those of you who rely on precise timing for automatic bill payments. Another important aspect of the January 2025 schedule is how it accommodates those of you who receive Medicare benefits alongside your Social Security. The coordination between these two programs has been enhanced for 2025, ensuring that any Medicare premium adjustments are smoothly integrated into your payment amounts. For those of you caring for dependents who receive benefits, there are some special considerations in the January 2025 schedule. The SSA has improved their system for processing dependent benefits, ensuring they align more closely with the primary beneficiary's payment schedule. This makes it easier to manage household budgets and planning. Let's discuss some practical strategies for managing your finances around these payment dates. I've worked with many seniors who've developed effective systems for tracking their benefits and expenses. One approach that's proven particularly successful is creating a calendar that marks not just your payment dates, but also your major expenses and bill due dates. This visual aid can help you plan your monthly spending more effectively. Something that's especially relevant for January 2025 is the new bank holiday schedule and how it interacts with Social Security payments. The Federal Reserve has coordinated with the SSA to ensure that bank processing times align more effectively with Social Security payment dates, reducing the likelihood of any processing delays. I want to share an important tip about identity verification for January 2025 payments. The SSA has enhanced their security measures, and you might notice some additional verification steps when accessing your payment information. While this might seem like an extra hurdle, it's actually a crucial protection for your benefits. For those of you who use representative pays, there are some specific updates to the January 2025 schedule that you should know about. The SSA has improved their system for coordinating with representative pays, making it easier to track and manage payments while maintaining necessary oversight and protection. Let's wrap up with some forward-looking information about how the January 2025 schedule sets the tone for the rest of the year. The SSA has designed this schedule to be more predictable and user-friendly, making it easier for you to plan your finances not just for January, but for the entire year ahead. Remember, understanding these payment dates is just the first step in managing your benefits effectively. I know we've covered a lot of ground here, but these details are crucial for ensuring you're fully prepared for your January 2025 payments. The key is to stay informed and proactive about managing your benefits. And remember, if you have any questions about your specific situation, you can always reach out to the SSA directly or consult with a financial advisor who specializes in retirement benefits.